Good morning, Miss, and welcome to our presentation for our project, which is Student Election System. For the next slide, we find about us for our team. I'm the leader, Ayub. There is my team, Muhammad, Yusuf, Qais, and Aya, and here is our rules, where each one of us has exactly three rules. For the next slide, we find the overview and the objective for our project. Firstly, the overview will work to develop or a platform or program to give access for either an admin, student, or representative for an election project where the student can vote and see the results of voting, and the admin can access and either publish the results or see the votes, and the representatives can log in and see the results of voting. For the objectives, we worked hard for three main objectives. Firstly, the secure digital elections. Since it is an election, so we work to by using file-based data to keep the data clear, to keep the data safe. Secondly, the transparent and fair process. Because it's an election, we work too much to keep the integrity for the election and to ensure record for trust results. And thirdly and last one is user-centric efficiency, where we look for the output to be more friendly and to be more easy to use. That's all for this slide, and the next slide is for demonstration of our program. For the demonstration for the code, as we can see here, when we run it and we go to terminal, you need to wait a little bit because the program is too long. It's more than 600 lines. So in terminal, once it's run, of course, it has zero problems. We can see here the main menu for the election is either one, admin login, two, representative registration, three, representative login, four, student registration, and five, student login. We can, for example, choose for representative the registration to register a new representative. We will ask for sure for the username. We can add test one, and the password is same is test one, and it will ask for the name. We can add test one. The manifesto is 256 characters, which has too many words. We can write, for example, work hard to improve studying experience. And you can see here registration successful, and it will ask for the menu again until you choose the zero. For example, we go for a representative login. We can try to log in with the same information for the representative. We can he will ask for the username. We'll add test one, the password test one, and it's exactly the right password that we did just now. And you can see here log in successfully, and we can has the three choices: either update manifesto, view current results, or zero to log out. We will log out and then go to the student registration to register a new student. We need just to choose four, and it will ask for the username. We can put here, for example, student one, and it's said that username exists because we already tried the program before, so we will change that shows exactly that our data is stored in the file because we tried the program before. So we will choose 4 again and do another name. Maybe we can do Yusuf as our group mate. Username and password we can do Yusuf too, the same. Full name can do his full name, and registration successfully. If we go to try it to M5, he will ask for the username, which is Yusuf, and the password Yusuf2. And you can see here, log in successfully. You can see the three results, which are view candidates, vote, view current results, or logout. Firstly, we will go to view the candidates or the representatives. As you can see here, there are five because we already tried the program before. Name, Ayub, candidate and candidate 3, candidate 4, and candidate 5, which we do it just today, which is test 1. And you can see here the student portal doesn't look out. It keeps in the program to ask either view candidates, view current results, or vote. For example, you go to choose vote and we choose 2. After that, the cast vote, it will show you the representatives. Who are they? As you can see here, there are 5. For example, we choose the last one, which is 5, and vote cast for successfully, as you can see here. So now we can go to log out and go to log in as an admin. It will ask for the username, which is already chosen in the assignment, and it will ask for the password. Log in successfully. As you can see here, the admin can either view representatives, view count results, publish final results, or log out. For example, we will go to view the current result after voting last time. As we can see here, this one have 2 because already tested before. This one have 1 because we voted just now, and this 3 have 0 because it was just for our test for the program that shows that our data is clearly stored in the file as asked. So we can do, for example, to publish the final results as an admin. And you can see here the complete results and result published successfully. As you can see here, we can choose 0 and go to the menu again. And maybe we can log in as a student so we choose 5. So it will ask for the name. We can do the name that and the password that we did for the test. As we can see here, log in successfully, and we can choose one from 3. So we choose 3 to see the current results, and that's it. The current result as mentioned. So you can see here, you can log out and go to the main menu again. Also, we can see the results as a manifesto, as a representatives too. So we go to representatives, as you can see here, we can choose 3. So we did test 1, test 1. As you can see here, log in successfully. And if you want to view the results, you can choose 2. And there is the results exactly as same as last one. And it will go again to the representatives menu. So if you want to go out of this menu, you can just choose 0 out, and again 0 to log out from our program, because we see here the data are stored exactly. You can see here even the data when we tested just when we were developing the program, it works with no problem. As you can see here, you can even notice that representative student can see the results, and representatives can show his can add his manifesto, and the student can vote or see the results, and the admin has the access to view the representatives or publish the results. As you can see here, this is for our program, and you can click 0 to exist and exiting the program. That's all for our program. I think the code is well structured, and it shows a real friendly program and a real easy program to use that has no conflict or problem, and you need to think twice to use it. And that's all for our demonstration. After the demonstration, you can go to the code explanation. Firstly, my role as a leader was to develop the main function, which is to merge between all roles of my teammates. As you can see here, here is the code of the main, not too long. We use integer main choice and character array for the name. After that, we go to the do while loop. The do while loop is used until to ask the user for its choice from 1 to 5 or 0 until he chooses 0. So the program or logout. As we can see here, some printf to the menu. After that, it asks for the choice, which is the main choice, as we declare it here as an integer. After that, we go to the switch of the main choice. It has for case one, if he chooses for the admin login, we'll call the functions call admin login to the menu, then break. If he chooses two, which is the representative register, it will call the function names rep register. If he chooses three, which is the representative's login, it will go to the representative login function, it will call it, and then it calls the representative menu function. And if he chooses four, it will go to the student register and call this function. If he chooses five, it will go to the student login and call the function. If he chooses zero, it will print the exit in the system and then stop the program. And default for other cases, if he doesn't choose like one from this number, it will print f invalid choice for the validation, then go back to the asking for the same question. And for our main menu, it has a really friendly and easy program to use, firstly. Secondly, the input handling, we used directly scanf to avoid any unsafe cases. And for choice processing, as we can see, valid options from 1 to 5, option 0 to exit the program, and valid inputs fall to default case with error feedback. For the next slide, for the main flowchart, as we can see here, we just put the flowchart and then we named each function. The flowchart to be more readable and understandable, we put each function and we put a letter for it. And after that, as you can see here, for my group mates, you can find the name for each function and its specific place. Firstly, if you choose the admin login, which is the choice one, it will call the admin login, then call the admin menu. Same for two, it will call the representative registration, as you can see here in the flowchart. Then for three, if we choose the representative's login in the flowchart, it will call the function D for representative login. For four, for the student register, as we can see here, choice four, student register and letter E. For five, student login, it will call the student login function, as you can see here, F. Then for six, for the exit of program, as you can see here, if the choice is zero, and then the end of the program. Default case, it handles invalid input and displays error message, then returns to main menu. As we can see here, for default, it go back to the start here. That's all for my part, and I let the word for my group mates to explain more about the project.
Hello everyone, my name is Bugasha Mohammed Abderrahman, and today I will be presenting the key functions used by the administrator in our student election management system, including how each function works and its role in managing the election process. First, let's begin with the admin login function. This function acts as the entry checkpoint for the admin. When it's called by the program, it promotes the admin to enter a username and passwords. These credentials are checked against hard-coded values uh, S SCDS as the username and 202504 as the password. If the credentials match, the login is successful and the admin gains access, otherwise it displays an error. Now let's move to the admin menu. Once logged in, the admin enters the admin menu function, the admin menu, which acts as the central hub for election control. This menu is interactive and built using a loop and a switch case. structure, the admin can choose between first viewing representatives, second viewing vote counts, and third publishing final results, and four logging out. It keeps running until the admin chooses to exit. This function ensures that only authorized actions are taken auto, auth, by the admin. And now next the view representative function. This function allows the admin to see a full list of all registered candidates. It reads from the binary file representatives dot, and for each candidate it displays their username, full name, and campaign manifesto, and the number of votes they have received so far. This function helps the admin verify who is officially running, track their campaign messages, and monitor participation during the election. It also handles cases like when the file is missing or no candidates have registered, showing appropriate messages instead of crashing. And next is a view votes function, which gives the admin a real-time look at the current vote distribution. It reads from the same representatives dot file, but instead of showing full profiles, it only prints the candidate names along with their vote counts in a clean table. This is useful during the voting period because it monitors election progress without revealing sensitive information like manifestos or login credentials. It helps the admin spot trends and ensures that voting is happening as expected. Finally, the publish results function is used after after voting has ended to officially declare the winners. It reads all candidate data, determines the highest vote count, and identifies all candidates who reached that count. So ties are handled fairly. Then it writes the final results to a new file called results.dat while preserving the original data file. The function also prints a list of the winners, a full uh, a full breakdown of every candidate and their total votes. This ensures transparency and integrity and creates a permanent tamper-proof record of the election outcome. Thank you, and now I will pass the word to my friend Yusuf Ashalafi.
Hello, Doctor. I am Yusuf Al-Shalafi, and today I'm going to continue explaining about these functions, which is about registration and login for uh, candidates and for students, and also for admin. And now I'm going to explain you about the first function, which is rep register. So this function, we have the objective of these functions. So it is to let an student or representatives and the admin to register his username and his password. And when he register this, we are going to save this username and password inside a presentative.dat file. So this file will save that this is a new username already registered now, and if this username is already used like used in another person or in another people before, so he will tell him that it is already used and you have to uh, choose another one. So this function will handles the registration of these representatives, and we have inside it, and we can say it will do three things. First, unique usernames, so not more than the same username, and also secure storage of candidate details in this file, which is representative.dat file, and also will make it starting counting from 0. So the default number for voting is gonna be 0, and if any person vote for this representative, it will start to be 2, 3, and 4. So the default is 0. So now we are going to explain how this function works actually. So if we see this, we can say that the program starts and display to representative as register. So we'll ask him to register, and we'll input his username, a new username. So if this username exists, so we will display that the username exists, and we will continue to let him go inside the file. And if username didn't exist, we are going to input password and name and manifesto. So after that, we are going to save to this file, which is representative.dat, and then we will display registration successful and continue. So we can say that when it is already successful with registration, we will return number 1, and if it's not successful with registration, we are going to return 0 because the username or the password is wrong, and so on. And now we are going to move to next function, which is rep login function. So what does this function doing, and why it is? Actually, this function to ask the user, they ask, actually this function to ask the user to input his username and password, and after that this function is going to go to that file, which is representatives.dat, and will search about this username and about this password. If it is already there because this representative already registered, so it will return to him that okay, and will return inside the program, inside the code, number 1. And if it is wrong and it didn't find inside the file this username and password, so it will return 0. So we are going now to see how it's working actually. This function is first of all starting and display that representative login. This is just for representatives, and also will import username and password from the user, and we'll open this file. So after opening this file, we'll check if the file exists. We are going to search for matching credentials, and after that, we are going to ask if this already match. We are going to display that long and successful, and if it's not, so we will display that invalid informations, and we are going to let him go again to input his username. And if the file exists, or we can say if the file didn't exist, we are going to display that no representative, and he has to go and register from the beginning. So now we are going to move to the third function, which is submit manifesto. So this function actually will do three things. Well, first, it will search about the username and the password inside the file, if it exists or not. The second, it will display his manifesto, which is already uploaded and already put it there, and also will let him update if he wants to update. We'll let him update, and will be secured and will save it without any changes for another details. So it will just change the manifesto safely and will save it there and will not affect any of the informations of this representative. So now we are going to see how it's work actually. We see here that the program is starting, and we open the file to check if the username and password exist. We are going to say that display the current manifesto and input a new one. So he is going to input a new manifesto. Then we are going to update the manifesto inside the file, and we'll save it inside the representative file. Then we are going to display a new manifesto, which is already updated. If the user didn't exist, so we are going to display username not found, or the password and username didn't found. So we will then end the program, and actually in this function, we are not going to affect any of his details, for example, his username or his password or his name or any of his details and informations, and also the voting. So if for example 10 people vote for this man, we are going to update the manifesto, and we are going to show the updated manifesto to those 10 people which is already voted. We are going to update it, so if they log in and try to see the manifesto for this person, they are going to see the updated manifesto already there. Now we are going to continue with my friend to explain the next function. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Qais Laghrab, and I will present the student registration and authentication part along with data structure and file management. So, in this function, I highlight student registration, which is a student registration function. When a student enters a username, the system first check if it already exists using the student exist function, which I will explain. I will explain it later. If it's unique, the program will ask for a password and full name. Sets the has voted flag to 0 because the student can't vote while registration, only if he log in, and saves the data in student.date using binary file handling. This ensures every student can only register once and prepares them to vote later. Next is the student exist function, which I already mentioned it before. So, student exist is a helper function I created to maintain data integrity. It opens uh, the student.date file, loops through all existing student record using fread, and compares users' names. If a match is found, it returns 1, otherwise it returns 0. This is used during registration to avoid duplicate usernames in the system. Next is the student login function. So after registration, student used this function to log in. It's asked for the username and password. Opens the student.date file and check if the entered credential match any stored record. If a match is found, the system logs them and stores their usernames for the session. If not, it returns an error message. So this function makes sure that only valid users can access the voting system. Next is the student menu function. So this function is shown right after a student logs in. It provides three options: viewing all representative, cast vote, and view results. Uh, it also can also log out. So using the while loop, it only exists from the function and the while loop only if the choice is 0, only if you want to log out. If you didn't choose 1, 2, 3, or 0, it will display an error message, and it will ask you again. If you choose one, if you choose to view representative or cast vote or view results, uh, it will uh, it will run this function and display what you ask for, and then it will ask you again if you want to view something else. Let's go to the data structure and file management. So our system uses two main data structures: student and representative. The student struct stores login info and the voting statute flag, while representatives include name, manifesto, and vote count. These structures are saved in .date file using binary mode. This allows us to store all data securely, efficiently, and precisely between sessions. So, file handling technique and importance. So, why are file handling technique and why file management is critical? So, we use binary file handling to protect data integrity, like the student.date representative, which stores student voter record, and representative.date stores representative info and vote count. So we have also vote.date, which used for vote transaction logging, and results.date stores publish election results. So we used different modes: AB to add data, RB to read it, and RB plus to update records. This system ensures that login are secure, duplicate voting is prevented, and the election process is reliable and traceable. Thank you. That's all for my part. I will pass the role to my colleague.
Hello, my name is Ayatollah Al and I'll be presenting the voting and results section of our project. This flowchart visualizes the logic behind the cast vote function. From our code, it starts by accessing students' point dat to identify the logged in user. Then it checks the has voted file in the student's record. If this file is set to 1, the system blocks the vote and displays a warning. If it's 0, the system opens representative point dat and loads all candidates. The student then selects their preferred representative. After validating the choice, the code increases that the candidate's vote by 1, updates the representative's record. Lastly, the student has voted is updated to 1 and both files are saved. This process is exactly what you see in the cast vote function. Here you see the actual functions that support secure voting. View reps for student reads from representatives point at and displays each representative's name and manifesto, both of which are filed inside the representative struct. The cast vote function, which we just explained in the previous slide, uses the has voted flag to prevent duplicate voting. The function reads both student pointed and representative pointed in binary mode and updates them using fseek and fwrite to ensure precise data management. Security is handled by checking whether the student has voted, validating their input, and only accepting votes for valid candidate indices. Also, results are hidden from students until officially published, which you'll see in the next section. This code screenshots how those file operations and validations are handled line by line. Results and display system flowchart. Now let's look at how students can view the final selection results. This flowchart represents the logic behind the view final results function. First, the program checks if results pointed exist using the file exists helper. This prevents students from viewing unpublished or incomplete results. If the file is not available, a message is shown. If the file exists, the function reads each representative struct, printing their name and votes. Although the flowchart also shows how winners are determined, that logic is handled on the admin side in the publish results function, not in mine. In a function simply reads the finalized results and displays them safely to the student. Now about the code and demo, here is the actual code of here is the actual code for the view final result function. As you can see, it first checks if the result file exists using file exists result file. If the file is missing, it prints a message like the results have not been published yet. If it exists, it opens the file using RB mode and reads each representative struct using fread. For each record, it prints the representative's name and their vote count, exactly like what you see in the sample output at the bottom right. This approach ensures that students can't view results unless the admin publishes them using the publish results function. The format is designed to be clear and final. Each candidate's results are printed neatly. Now, to close the presentation, here are the advantages and possible improvements. Our system makes voting accessible, transparent, and secure. The has voted flag prevents duplicate submissions and student data stored in student point data. Manifestos help students make informed decisions before using, all handled by view reps for students, and results are only displayed if published by the admin, a check that built into view final results. Future improvement could include encrypting passwords instead of storing them as plain text, sending confirmation emails to students once they vote, and creating a GUI version of the system. We could also add voting deadlines using time stamps. Thank you for your attention. I hope this gave you a clear picture of how the student side voting and result display works in our group project.